There are multiple covenants in Scripture, and they start with the Adamic covenant, and they go to the Noahic covenant, then the Abrahamic covenant, the Moshe covenant, Moses covenant, and then ends up with the Davidic covenant, and then the Messiah covenant. And so that's the progression of them. There are those that think that there are more than that. I'm not going to debate that. That's a debate for another day. But the thing about a covenant is covenant is key to understanding Scripture, because it is without covenant, it would just be a story, and it'd be random events. But there's a purpose behind it, and covenant is the purpose. Covenant is the framework that Yehovah chooses to deal with his people. That's how he deals with us. That's it's what he does and how it all works. And there are two types of covenant. You have conditional covenants and you have unconditional covenants. So the best examples of unconditional covenant is the rainbow, the Noahic covenant, that the Lord's never going to flood the earth ever again. That's a non-condition. There isn't anything that we got to do. He's taking care of it. Okay. Then you have the Mosaic covenant or Moses covenant, and that's conditional. There's things that man has to do, and that's the Levitical laws. So that's just the two different types of covenants. So we have to, from that jumping off point, we have to understand what Scripture talks about as requirements or conditional things. But then there's always, man has a choice in what he does and how he responds to Yehovah. And so the best example of what he says to do is through Yeshayahu, Isaiah, and it's in 56. And it says, and I'll start with verse 1. It says, here's what Yehovah says. Observe justice, do what is right, for my salvation is close to coming. My righteousness is being revealed. Happy is the person who does this, anyone who grasps it firmly, who keeps Shabbat and does not profane it, and keeps himself from doing any evil. A foreigner joining himself to Yehovah should say, Yehovah will separate me, or should not say, Yehovah will separate me from his people. Likewise, the eunuch should not say, I am a dried up tree. For here's what Yehovah says. As for the eunuchs who keep my Shabbats, who choose what pleases me and hold fast to my covenant in my house, within my walls, I will give them power and a name greater than sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that will not be cut off. And the foreigners who join themselves to Yehovah, to serve him, to love my name, of my name Yehovah, and to be his workers, all who keep Shabbat and do not profane it, and all who hold fast to my covenant. I will bring them to my holy mountain, and I will make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and sacrifices will be accepted on my altar, for my house will be called a house of prayer for all the peoples. Yehovah Elohim, he who gathers Israel's exiles, yet there are others I will gather besides those gathered already. So he's telling us that